If you are a financial advisor or a tax planner and you want to get more clients in the future or even better clients than you currently have, but you also want to maybe get less resistance on your sales calls with people going maybe also to shop at another firm and maybe be like, okay, I'm gonna think about that, I'm gonna look at some other options and then maybe come back to you. If you get that resistance and you want better and more clients, then listen up. This video is for you. In this video, I'm going to basically release my whole marketing strategy for 2024 and beyond. It's a strategy very focused on video marketing, but it also tackles the two main problems I see just in the overall financial industry. So if you want to really grow your business in 2024 and beyond, and you want to become a recognized name and the #1 financial planner in your space, then watch this video. So without further ado, let's jump into the computer and walk through the entire marketing strategy for financial advisors. Okay, so the way I see it, there are two main problems in the financial industry space when it comes to online marketing. So the first one is definitely bad advice. So there are a lot of influencers, financial influencers, who just make it seem so easy, make it seem so effortless that you can actually get rich, that you can just flip real estate, whatever it is, right? And in a sense, spit a lot of bullshit advice. So the market is super skeptic, right? Like they've been burned by some financial strategy, they've been burned by some financial influencer selling them a trading program for $97, and that has led to them being resentful. Those people who are on it, they think, well, everybody who chats online, right, is kind of like just talking bullshit. But the reality is that actually the spoils go towards that bad advice, right? Those people who still want to implement, those people who still want to set up a solution, they are going to go to those people who, frankly, most of the time really don't have a lot of ideas, right? Really are not the experts in their field. And it kind of puts everybody else a little bit down because, right, if you're the expert, why would you not open up your mouth online? At least that's what I always encourage people. So the big solution for you guys is to actually give better advice and put it online, right? Especially in forms of video, especially on those platforms where the people actually add, right? Like if you go into a mall or if you are somewhere, you can look around you and people are most of the time on their phones. We are kind of a phone addicted attention society, meaning you have to be there where the attention actually is and not just post kind of articles inside of your microcosm where everybody's already informed. And I want you to see yourself as a beacon of good information, right? Like counter the bad information actually with good information, because that's how you're going to win. You will need to educate the market. By educating the market, you will become a brand, and that means you're going to have no more competition. The second problem is once we get into paid advertising or marketing efforts is that the usual way most people approach this, most agencies, as a matter of fact, approach this, is that we basically have a way of generating attention that's most of the time through advertising, PPC advertising on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, even on Google. And then we want to capture the leads and we want to straight up sell them something. This has become noisy, right? Like it's not 2016, it's not 2014. People are on advertising. Your competition knows about advertising. Everybody is kind of running a lot of people are running some kind of advertising online. And you will have to compete with those people, right? They use stock footage, they use sometimes video, most of them use some kind of boring stock footage. But the problem is there's no education happening. And the truth is that this will only be good for those 5 to 10% of the market that actually know what they want, know they want a solution and they want it right now. Yeah, you wouldn't go on Google if you just, would not search for a solution, which is good if you advertise and if you capture that traffic. But then you have 80 to 90% that don't even know about the opportunity, don't even know about the product, don't even know about the problem that they have, right? Like people might not even know that there is a way of saving taxes. People might not even know that there's a way of relocating to another country. People might not even know that there's some kind of entity that they can set up to make more money, to save themselves some money. Whatever you name it, right? A lot of people are still in the dark. We might, in the ecosphere that we move in, most of the time, everybody's informed and we are like, oh, yeah, everybody must know about that opportunity. But that's actually absolutely not the case, right? 80 to 90% of people don't have any idea about that. And if they get served by those, average financial advisors or average or below average people, they will never know. So your big opportunity is actually, before you try to sell people something, is to educate them first, right? Because he who educates the market will capture the market in a big way. And you want to, of course, you want to go after the 10% who are ready, right? But here's where everybody's fighting. But you also want to create demand, right? So you want to capture the demand of those 10%, and you also want to create demand for those 80 to 90%. And by being the person who educates, you will have no competition, because you literally will have a category of one, because you're going to be the only person out there, or one of the very few, to actually give that advice. And for that whole process to work effectively, because you don't want to just, spit advice, but you also want to make money, you really want to have a 4-step process of actually generating the attention first, then capturing the attention, because you don't want to be at the mercy of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Google. The algorithms might change. They might, sometimes get to decide that what you say is not that valuable anymore. So that way you want to actually capture the email addresses and phone numbers of people, so that you own the traffic that you generated. And then you want to focus massively on education, right? You want to educate in long form video content. As much as I try to do it right now, I think that's the most powerful way. And then you want to convert people on a sales call. So, because when they step on a sales call and they already have gone through the 3 phases with you, they will be just asking, what is your product and what's the price of your product and can it work for me? That's kind of the questions they're going to have. They're not going to ask about who you are. They're not going to ask about if that, is the right thing. So in terms of generating attention, right? Like those people who do it, they have a massive, massive advantage. We can look at somebody like Dave Ramsey, right? He built a multi-billion-dollar brand just putting out videos, educating people. And especially in that short format, you can put out a lot of material. Some people laugh at those people, nomad capitalists, right? Like a lot of people in the industry, as I've heard, are laughing about this guy. But I can tell you one thing. He's built a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar brand. I don't know his exact numbers, but he definitely capitalizes on all of the attention that he's got. So even if you laugh at him, he might make more money than you. And there's a reason for that. And then somebody like Mike Pugh that we built, right? Like we get millions and millions. We've calculated in 2023, we've gotten over 60 million views on those channels, right? That has led to thousands of leads, but definitely the attention is on those platforms with video. It's just really exponential. How do you capture that attention? How do you generate the attention? You want to be right on the edge between your brand, right? Like your personality, your expertise, meaning your topic. But then this is the most important part that a lot of you are forgetting, because you just talk about what your market talks about. You want to relate it to pop culture. You want to relate it to mainstream, right? You want to talk about things that actually matter to the mainstream, not just to your industry, right? You don't want to talk about how to set up this type of trust in this type of super specific situation for legal experts. No, you want to tell people how they can move their house, which is the asset for most of the people, into a trust. That's just a little bit more general. Because if you talk about those broader topics, you will also have those high net worth individuals in your target audience. Because guess what? They also are on TikTok. They also are on YouTube. They also are on Facebook. And they also watch those stupid clips. And if they don't, then their children are, their friends are, and they will share it with them and like, look, daddy, he's talking about what you are doing. Or look, my friend, he's talking about what you are doing, right? And you want to focus your content around day-to-day actionable advice around something like cars. Is a super hot topic, right? People love their cars, finance, investing, wealth, assets, family, those type of audiences, those type of topics. Then when we talk about owning the attention, and educating, we want to give people something that is really valuable to them, right? You want to either give that away for free or for a very small fee, right? I'm thinking something like a book can be sold for $4, $7. This can be given away for a very small fee, but I wouldn't charge too much on the front end because people don't know you. People don't trust you yet. And normally we don't like to give strangers that we don't trust multiple hundreds of dollars, right? So what we do is we either give away a free training, we either give away a really, really good complete guide, or a free consultation. Shameless plug here. You can see our calendars are pretty much almost booked. So this is the first week of November that I'm shooting this. So our calendar is almost booked up until the end of November. So it has to be something that is really, really, really valuable, right? Like it has to be valuable to them. It cannot just be a half-ass product. Now, the funnel that we're running, the system, if you want, behind it is we take the content, we turn that content into advertising, we then capture the attention, we educate on the way, right? And then we follow up with more content, we follow up with automation, we follow up with a clarity call, and try to really get people 100% clear on the opportunity so that there's no questions asked, get them clear on our values, get it clear on what we stand for, so that we can educate them, creating that demand, but also get the fast results with the advertising. So we get the best of both worlds. Now let's talk conversion. I know a lot of you know that, but you don't want to sell everyone. But what if you could have actually a pre-trained South African or an almost free accent-free Colombian that does not cost you more than $7 an hour, ask people qualifying questions, right? Before they even waste a second of your time, people get qualified. That is super important. You want to ask them questions, and these are the most, for us, the three most important questions that we asked is are you looking somebody who is just looking for, are you somebody who's just looking for information, or do you actually want to set up a plan, right? That's a super important question. A lot of people just take calls with everybody, call people back. Of course, you're going to have time wasters. Of course, you're going to waste your time a lot of time. No, you want to have a qualified pre-triage caller that actually follows up with your leads and qualifies the people who jump on a call with you eventually, or with your salesperson. Then we also want to ask, are you somebody who takes action, right? We want action takers. We want entrepreneurs, high net worth individuals who are used to making decisions. We don't want people who take like a month to buy a chair or something like that, right? We want people who are like, okay, let's implement this. This sounds good. Let's go. And last but not least, we got to ask about the money. People who don't have money will not work with us, especially if we're selling them expensive solution. So the third most important question that we ask, that we have our triage callers ask on behalf of our clients, is if we were to set up a trust for you, save you X amount of money in taxes, invest that money at X%, right? Like get you a return with this or whatever, right? Would you be willing to invest in that solution? If somebody says no to any of these questions, we don't have the gold standard. The gold standard is what we're seeking. We only want people with the gold standard on our sales calls. I mean, sometimes somebody might slip through the cracks, but we want to have the gold standard always. The gold standard is important and can never be broken, because the gold standard are people who want to set up a plan, who want to get started now, who are people who take actions and are willing to invest in that solution. And that is really, really important. So this is how you can not waste your time with sales calls. Yeah, so this is basically the whole breakdown of everything that we're doing. If you want us to walk you through step by step through the solution, how you could actually implement that for you, then be sure to click on the link below and book a free 20-minute call. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask questions, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Goodbye.